I kind of do this in my sleep, for real. I mean, come on. That is the kind of confidence you just love to see from a superstar like Anthony Edwards. After another absolutely jaw-dropping performance, he's basically telling everyone, yeah, this is just another day at the office for him. And what does that look like in the box score? How about 40? Yeah, a casual 40 piece. And the craziest part? According to Ant himself, he literally dreamed this up the night before. Wild. So what a night in the NBA. We're gonna break down an evening that seriously had everything you could ask for. Pure, unadulterated star power. Playoff tension you could cut with a knife. And yeah, some of the biggest debates shaking up the whole league right now. We're gonna get into these crazy scoring nights, feel that playoff pressure building, and then we'll dissect one of the deadliest signature moves in the game. And finally, we're gonna tackle that super controversial topic, tanking. So let's get right into it, starting with the fireworks. Okay, first up, the superstar eruptions. I mean, there are some nights when the best players in the world just decide, yeah, this game is mine. And you just have to sit back and enjoy the absolute show. And Ant-Man, he put on an absolute clinic. This was his 27th career 40-point game. Think about that. That's 14 more than any other player in Timberwolves history. He was just on fire, dropping 20 in the first half alone. And, he gave a shout out to his coach, Chris Finch, for really pushing him on that pull-up jumper. Yeah, I'd say the work is paying off. Big time. Now at the same time, over in LA, a certain Slovenian superstar was making his return felt immediately. I mean, Luka Doncic was out for 4 games with that hamstring issue. So does he ease back into things? Nope. He explodes for 17 points in the first quarter. Just like that. It was a pretty clear message. The hamstring? Yeah, that's not a problem anymore. But, these incredible individual nights are only part of the story. Because with the postseason right around the corner, every single game, and I mean every game, and every single decision about who's playing in it, it all carries this immense weight. It's a pressure cooker. And this is where you see a really fascinating contrast in how teams are thinking. On one side, you've got the Mavericks, and sources are saying their plan is to just unleash Luka. They need him going all out for this playoff push. But then you look at the Warriors, and they're taking a much more cautious approach with Steph Curry's knee. They're prioritizing his long-term health, hoping for a deep run. It's 2 superstars, 2 totally different gambles. And man, that tension was just on full display in the Battle of LA. Kawhi Leonard was having a monster game, drops 31 points before he has to leave late with some ankle soreness. That's a huge blow for the Clippers. On the other side, for the Lakers, it was Austin Reaves who really stepped up with 29, while LeBron was playing more of a facilitator role. Seriously, this one was a total nail-biter. And this is exactly why teams are so scared of the Lakers in a close game. Check out this record in clutch situations. Games within 5 points in the final 5 minutes. They are an absolutely insane 16-3. When the pressure's on, they just know how to deliver. It's that simple. So, let's zoom in for a second on one of the guys who makes all that clutch magic happen. We're going to talk about a move that has become so iconic, it's pretty much synonymous with his name. You know the one. It's the move every kid is trying to pull off in their driveway, but almost nobody has mastered it quite like Luka Doncic. So, what is the secret? What really makes the perfect step back? Well, Luka himself actually breaks it down to 2 kind of simple sounding but incredibly difficult things. First, he says, is balance. The balance has got to be perfect, especially when you're moving backwards away from the hoop. And second, separation. He says you got to try to make that step back as long as you possibly can to create space. It's this wild dance of physics and pure finesse. And this right here, this is what reveals the strategic genius behind the whole thing. It's not just about the physical move, it's all mental. Luka is actively hunting for mismatches. Just like he says, he wants the centers to switch onto him because he knows they've got slower feet. It's not checkers, people, it's chess. But okay, while guys like Luka and Ant are out there fighting tooth and nail for playoff seeding, there's a very different kind of strategy playing out at the bottom of the standings. For every team that's trying to win, there seems to be another one that has, let's say, different priorities. I mean, just look at this score, 153-103. This wasn't just a loss for Portland, it was a complete and total demolition. And it starts to raise some pretty uncomfortable questions about, the competitive integrity of the league on a night-to-night basis.
The lack of defense was so obvious, it actually led to this hilarious but really pointed bit of commentary on the broadcast. And hey, when the effort level becomes the punchline of a joke, it's definitely a real conversation the league needs to have. And this all comes back to that one big controversial word, tanking, right? It's that strategic decision to basically lose games on purpose now in the hopes of getting better draft picks and having a brighter future later. It's a practice the NBA commissioner is actively trying to stamp out, but man, it is still a hotly debated topic.
So what do you even do about it? What's the solution? Well, Hall of Famer Charles Barkley threw out a pretty radical idea. Hit these teams where it hurts, in the wallet. His proposal? If your team has a losing record, you shouldn't be allowed to raise ticket prices. It's a really provocative question, right? Should fans have to pay more money for a product that is clearly not competitive? It really makes you wonder, where do you draw that line between a smart strategic rebuild and just not even trying?